Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Levitated. This is Frogman, and we've been kind of having a little bit of fun last few episodes, just doing a few little random things like making little cool toys and doing some stuff and adding into some things. So, I spent a bit of time in between episodes playing around. Best just playing, finally, just kind of goofing around and doing a few things. So, let's take a look at what we've done so far. First thing, let's just start with the workshop AE system over here kind of deal. I went ahead and added in 2 more crafting storages plus a co-processing unit on top of each one of these. I will be adding probably 2 more co-processing units per each crafting storage, plus probably these will eventually end up being around 16 to 64k, just depends on what we feel like doing. I added the co-processing unit because that will allow me to use 2 molecular assemblers per each ME interface, and we went with an 8 tall stack so that we can at least have a lot of stuff to play with. So this is just me, how I kind of slowly progress. Once I get to a point where I'm tired of the speed at which things work, I start expanding and making things work. And I know we said it last time, I make my molecular assembler or interface stacks in a kind of a plan like this so that I can cover all 4 sides, or at least 4 sides of an interface with 4 of these, so that it's in 4s because, it's Minecraft. Everything is divisible by 4 or 8 or, however you look at things. So I work it that way so that at least when I order a stack of things, it will work at it 4 at a time. We did go ahead and craft up a few of the dense smart cables because I prefer to use dense cables over P2P because it's easier for my brain. Now, if we do decide we do want to play around and if we need a whole lot more channels, what I can do with this dense cable that's wandering this direction is that this dense cable can touch that block, that block, that block, that block, that block. Any one of these blocks around in this general area, we can P2P into those sides. And since we have 32 channels, that means that's, well, what, 32 P2P channels we can play with if we want to. I think it's 32p. It's like 16. Doesn't really matter, but either one of those, every single one of those P2P channels, we can push into these dense cables and then pull them back out somewhere else. So I did this because we're going to start expanding the base. We're going to start putting cables around. We're going to start moving things around. I'm going to need to start automating all of the little things that we have set up. And especially once we get to the point where we're going to start talking about these, which I said this episode, next episode, I've spent so much time building that I think I can probably talk for half of an episode before we get there. So what we did do is we ran some dense cables over to the top of the Botania area where we have our little generational system going on, and I've since turned this back on because we've done a little bit of running. So let's go up here and let them eat a minute, and I will show you guys what I have done. Actually, let's just go ahead and shut them off for the minute because they're really loud. I still need to automate them to be turning things on and off, but that's fine. So it doesn't really matter. We'll be okay from now on. So last episode, we made that thing. We made this orchid endium, and I said I was going to automate it in the similar fashion to how we did things in the nether. And I think actually at this point, too, I may convert the nether one over to this as well. This is how I wanted to do this originally, and it's using the extra utilities, mechanical user kind of stuff, and things, and scanners and miners and things. The reason why I want to do this is because of this block right there. That block right there is called a scanner, and it's allowed me to be able to detect when and if there is something other than a block here, which we're already doing. We're already doing that kind of thing anyway as it is. It's doing that way, and it's with the other system. The thing is look at how much more compact this is. There's no logic in here. There's no system. There's no anything. All I'm doing is forcing in endstone here with a mechanical user, and the mechanical user is placing an endstone down here. When this thing sees that, it changes it into something that it's in its loot table as far as blocks it can change. When this scanner detects that this block changes from something up to something other than endstone, it outputs a redstone signal. Or I should say stops outputting a redstone signal, which turns that torch on, which makes this miner, or this miner from extra utilities, turn on. If you put a Fortune 3 book in a miner from extra utilities, it will Fortune 3 anything's in front of it. So that means the redstone, the diamonds, the lapis, the coal, will all get fortune 3'd as it's picked up. Now, I can do a little bit better with that. We could probably pick those blocks up and run them through a sag mill and get a little bit more, but I think for right now that works perfectly fine. So what the AE system does here is basically it just makes sure that we're keeping endstone in stock with an export bus, and then whatever's picked up by this mechanical miner gets picked up by an import bus. It's currently off because that Orchid has a redstone signal on. So if I do that, it's going to make noise. And if I get out of this, I need to remember not to do this. Back up. It'll do this. Change it into a block. That miner will pick it up, and then this export bus will slowly pull things out of there as it goes. Now I need to put a few acceleration cards in that thing probably, but it's fine for now. So in reality now, all I need to do is craft endstone, or for that matter just go out in the world and mine endstone, and we don't have to go mining anymore, at least in the end, which is cool. Now I'm only going to be really doing this process as a kind of a way to get lapis. So as far as like we were talking about the last time, there is no way that I can tell, other than trading with villagers maybe, for us to be able to get lapis. So I think the only way we can get it is through a cleric with emeralds and or other things. I mean, I think there's another way maybe later on down the line, but for now, well, of course there's another way for later on down the line once we get to environmental tech. But for right now, that's the only way that we can get lapis, is either mining or doing this with it. So that's how we're going to do that. Everything else we can craft through that thing over there, that mod. So the other thing we did is, I know I kind of showed that last episode, is that we can, of course, kind of set up a little bitty rinky-dink thing to make clay using the clayconia. So the same thing is going on here. If I need to be able to make clay, I just tell it over there I want it to make clay, and the clay will, or the interface will then cram sand into here. This user will then place it down as fast as it possibly can, which is at least, well, with a upgrade of 4. The clayconia will then turn that into a clay little thingy, whatever glob dealy that is, and the vacuum chest will then put it back into the enemy interface. Both of these guys are running off of this mana pool, and the reason why I have the mana pool in the middle is that there are a bunch of other functional flowers that we may fool around with, so I wanted to be able to kind of have room on top of here to kind of do this. Now this thing is stupid loud, so I'm not running it right now, and it also chews through mana like nobody's business. It's not going to run while we're going to be doing things, and it likely will not run a lot anyways, just so that I can keep certain things in stock. On the other side of this wall over here is going to be the 2 automated systems for the Botania pools for the Conjuration Catalyst, and you just picked that up, you sucker. Give me that back. I thought I set you to do that deal. Anyhow, the Conjuration Catalyst and the Alchemy Catalyst. Give me that Tyrian block back. Thank you. Twit. I didn't ask for your help. I really need to do something a little different with this because of how these work, but basically what we're doing here is we're automating the Conjuration Catalyst and the Alchemy Catalyst using the mana pools. So let's just look at the Alchemy Catalyst really quickly. We've looked at this several times, but basically what this thing can do is turn certain things like rotten flesh into leather, and the wood types into wood types, sapling types into sapling types, snow into ice, vines into lily pads. You know, who really cares on that kind of thing. This is another thing that we could do if we needed to run into some stuff or we got out of certain things. Carrots and potatoes, seeds into seeds, all those kinds of neat things. What we're going to probably primarily use it for is the flint into the gunpowder until we get the creeper system up and running, and for that matter we could turn around and do the other thing as well. Cactus into this, cactus into slime balls. This is usually how I end up getting slime balls early on, or for that matter maybe the cactus. If you're playing modded and you can't find a desert but you can find slimes, that's a way to do it. A glowstone into redstone, redstone into glowstone. This is another one of those deals. We are going to abuse this completely. The cobblestone into sand, that's how we're going to get sand in this playthrough. And then I think there's one more we're going to have to automate eventually, which is going to be, we can do this as well. Where is it? Oh, that's going to be under the other one. That's going to be this one. Conjuration Catalyst, Conjuration Catalyst, Conjuration Catalyst, Conjuration Catalyst. This will allow us to duplicate various things. So if we do need to duplicate coal or nether quartz, stuff like that, we're going to be duplicating the netherrack and the soul sand this direction because I really don't feel like mining it. And I do think the other one is a big deal here. I can't believe it's a full mana pool to get to elytra, but I guess it is what it is. This is an excellent trade-in as far as this is concerned as well, along with the coal. So we do already have a couple of the recipes set up in here, and that basically is how that works. So if I want to be able to make a bunch of clay, what's really cool about this is if I say clay, I already have a whole bunch anyway, but if we just say make me another 100 clay, it's going to make 100 sand. Give me the thing. And as soon as it makes 100 sand, it'll start doing that over there. So it's just exactly how I wanted this. Now we could probably slow this down. It doesn't necessarily need to be that fast, but we like to be able to make our stuff fairly quickly, right? I really like that opportunity. I love this thing. I love that interaction. That is such a usable flower because you can get cobblestone for days. I mean, even for that matter in Botania, we could make a cobblestone generator that would work. As it is right now, we're generating cobblestone down here using, again, extra utilities in a transfer node. So it's just basically pulling this out of that block and shoving it into the system. So, alrighty, we've got a few other things we need to talk about. Of course, this is just a temporary storage for our now wonderfully silly XP farm systems that we have going on. I have this shut off, and again, we're not going to be using the attractor obelisk for this system because this functions well enough that I don't need to worry about it. I mean, just that it just works so well that, yeah, I know it's vanilla. It just works so stinking well. Let's get out of here. No, let me out of this. I need to lock all those. It's getting to be a little bit of a pain with some of these. But let's see. Back over to the workshop. Back over down here. What else did we do in between episodes? I don't believe there was much else around here other than just running a few things like this. So let's go talk back over here to the pig farm. And I am apologetic right now. Hang on one second. The reason why I wanted that thing, that obelisk, is because of the fact that this type of farm can be made to work considerably better, or at least considerably faster, with less amount of work, with something that will automatically draw this in. Granted, I can make the piggies come over here and hang out and make sure that I am continuously just standing here. But at times that will break just due to the fact that the mobs will lose interest. That's actually why those little fenced in sections are right there and right over there with the one that's in it, is I need to catch what the goal is basically is you catch a pig in the actual fencing system, you put a name tag on him so you can't so he won't despawn, and then you hit him with either the arrow or a snowball or something like that so that he maintains aggro. He'll always maintain aggro. He's always going to be there. He can't leave. Now, what's cool about that little obelisk down there is it's going to continuously pull in mobs from all the way around it, but it's only going to maintain a certain amount of mobs in this general area. So, unfortunately, we can't get down there and look at it, but what I did do is there is a single soul vial in there with a zombie pigman in it, of course, and we have currently a bunch of gold and a bunch of diamond spikes around the outside edge, and the only mob moving thing we have available past that obelisk to be able to shove these guys in here and kill them. Now, because that obelisk is going to create, I think it's a 9x9 by 3 or 4 tall area that it's going to pull things in, I need to be able to move the mobs into the center of the area. So the only thing we have is the immersive engineering conveyor belts. So for those of you that don't know, immersive engineering conveyor belts will move mobs from the outside of a section into a certain area and just mash them into whatever kind of a killing form that you have. And because of the fact that it's an active thing, they cannot fight against those conveyor belts, which is what's really cool about the immersive engineering conveyor belts. They just cannot fight against them. Once they're on it, they're on it. Now, we may have problems with certain things, like I may end up having to move all of this up a little bit, but for now it's kind of just one of those, we're just playing around with it, seeing how things work. but they're definitely dying at a rate at which I want to. And if I want to shut the system off, all I got to do is flick that lever. So this is exactly what I wanted. So if I need to come AFK and get a whole bunch of rotten flesh or something, rotten flesh is going to be something we're going to need a lot of. And for right now, rotten flesh is going to be something we're going to use quite a bit of, because this is an easy way of getting a lot of iron ingots. So there's only about 1 or 2 ways of getting iron. But if we want to be able to automate the ability to be able to make polymer clay, polymer, come on, you can spell poly, this stuff. We need to be able to automate the gold, the iron, and the clay, which we have both of these because gold is simply this recipe, which once we start running some of the other things, we can get that to work. Granted, yes, I do believe we can probably craft iron in a different fashion. Actually, I think I can craft the rotten flesh. Thing is, it takes a raw pork chop. So essentially, this is going to be one of those things that as we play around, now that we have the zombie stuff, the zombie matter or things like that, we can run that to do this way if we want to, or we can just come out here occasionally, get a couple of thousand pig stuff, and then continue. So yes, I do also need to go ahead and get a soul vial for each one of those guys and haul them in here because they will come in handy. We can use their stuff to make other things, which is kind of cool. So let me see, what are those things called? I think I can make them this way, right? What are those things called? Magma creams. Magma creams, I do believe we can separate those into, I think you can actually use them to craft these, right? Yes, which I can turn that into lava if I want to, or netherrack or things and stuff like that. And there, of course, other things you can use them for, heat-proof bricks, blocks, things, stuff. More Corel tombstone kind of things. Really should fool around with that. And that other thing that I keep forgetting that I need to make, and I still haven't made one, is a cocoon of a caprice, which, it's just one of those things I always forget about. I never use them. So let's go to the new base, go back over here. We've spoken for half of the episode at this point, just on the stuff that I have done in between episodes. And I'm kind of happy at how some of this turned out, at least at this point. It's getting there. It's going to end up being a little cramped and a little goofy looking and a little crazy. But that's the intent of it. That's the intention. That's how I want it to be. All right, so what I wanted to do with the rest of today's episode, now that we've kind of talked about just some of the improvements, it's all about quality of life. It's all about trying to make things better as you go along. But unfortunately, that requires usually sitting down and playing for a couple hours. So, what I want to do today, again, we're going to kind of push forward with some of this other stuff. I want to start working out this line. We need to kind of look down through some of these deals, which means we need to start looking at a induction smelter and this fake stuff plus this plus this plus that. So this is going to take a while. I need to start working on these. We need to start being able to make this stuff because that ingot especially is going to be a lot of fun. Rainbow ingots are blocks of uranium, rainbow stones, prescient crystals. I think that's how you say that, which are going to be shulkers, which we can spawn. We can easily spawn shulkers, no problem. But in order to be able to make the thing that it's talking about here, every single one of these is going to be a right-click to Bifrost block with a rainbow ingot to turn it into a rainbow block. And we need enough of those rainbow blocks to be able to make the portal to go to the next location. So this is going to be a little bit of fun. We've got to do ender crystals. We've got to do prescient crystals. Plus, we need to do rainbow stone, which rainbow stones, I believe, are made in a resonator with a stone burnt, which requires an active rainbow generator while it's being crafted. So this is some of the fun stuff about this pack that I've been kind of looking forward to getting done. We did the last one where we did to make the nether portal to get us to the nether, and now we get to kind of look at this stuff. So let's make an induction smelter. An induction smelter, I probably should have already started with some of the other things, but again, we need a machine frame, which is going to be one of these, which is going to be the same old thing. Now, the machine frames, these are going to be the industrial ones to remind ourselves, do we have any dye blends at this point? I do have exactly one. Wonderful. And a piece of stone burnt and a circuit board. Seems like we start all of these episodes, or we get to this point in almost every one of these episodes where we're making another one of these things because I just don't feel like automating it. Yeah, again, blah. We're going to toss that in there. And if I remember, this one is going to take a little bit of work. Induction smelter. is an Invar gear, 2 copper gears, which the only way we're making gears at this point is over here. Do we even have any Invar left? And we do. Good. I think we need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those and some copper. And at this point, I can turn my sounds back up because I was wondering why I couldn't hear anything. There we go. We're making gears over here, which I should go ahead and... the next project is I'm going to be running the cable over to this side so I can automate this thing because this is how we're going to ore process stuff. So let's see. Do we have the gear die in? We do. We need to make you and you. What else did we need for an induction smelter? Hit A on that. Thank you. I've got to learn to do this. So we need sand and a redstone thingy. I think we're going to be okay with those. Yes, hopefully. Cool. You should have made my thing for me. Roll A and delete it. You know, I really need to check those chickens. Have they filled this chest up yet? No. Okay. It's one of those things you forget to check on occasionally. I mean, while we're at it, where are we with you? Cannot begin simulation missing polymer clay. We're at a superior wither data model. It's over halfway there. Beautiful. Can we make an induction smelter? Boy, I must have already had copper gears. Beautiful. So this is sand. This is a machine frame. We can make one of these. I can make one of those, and I can do this, and sand times 2. Boop. Next. There we go. Love it. It's so fast. And an induction smelter. Cool. Awesome. Now, this gentleman, I believe we're going to stick him right there for now. Let it fill up full of juice. And hit the button. So induction smelters, things and stuff. Now, we need to be able to do, remember those elves? They said they were willing to give you more information about the overworld. If you had some kind of artifact that they were interested in, clearly you have none, but this fake artifact that you forged with the nether star might just do the trick. Nether stars. Nether stars. I have a few nether stars. How much wither matter do we have at this point? We have well over 400 nether stars. Amazing. Do I just toss this in a thing? What do you do with it? Fake nether star. Fake something. What are we doing? Look at it. It's a craft and overworld star. Overworld star. Ah, now I see why they want us to do this kind of stuff. Okay, well that's cool. Signalum, Elementium, a demon, hop graphite, terra steel, manual. We may have a little bit of fun with that one. Let me see. What do we have for that right now? So overworld. Let's mark that on our calendar here. Overworld A. That is Signalum, Elementium, Lumium, Demon. How many of this do I have? I might even have some of this already. Demon. I know I made some demon ingots earlier. Oh boy, do I have any nether brick? Let's do this one first. Nether brick, nether brick, nether brick. I do. Bucket of lava, 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 bucket. I don't have any buckets. I have buckets on me, stupid. Don't do that. Can I get a bucket of lava, please? I should be able to get a bucket of lava, right? Thank you. All right, demon steel ingots. Demon ingots. They're pretty simple, easy to do. They're just this and a piece of gold. Boop. Oh, nuts. It's got to be on the bottom too, doesn't it? Hang on. This, right? Then do that. There we go. Cool. One of those. That's neat. This stuff makes really good parts for your swords and things because it's a really spooky little thing. Why am I not picking up my stuff? Because I took my magnet off. That's why. Can I have this back? Thank you. Boop. And put this back. There we go. Cool. So that's one. Elementium, I think we might have some of that somewhere. Although I might have used it already. Let's see. Elementium. We're going to have fun. I'm probably doing the hard ones, the easy ones first. I probably should be looking actually at that one that requires another star to craft. But let's go ahead and make one of these. This is easy enough to do. Yes. All right. There's that. This, that. Overworld star, aluminum, demon, hop graphite. We may have some of those, I think. Nope. Hop. I do have a hop graphite. Do you have any of the other stuff? No. What did I do with all that stuff? I know I had some. Is it over here? No. Well, give me one of those. One of those. And this is off. Okay, make that for me while we're at it. What else did we need? Terra steel, we can do that. Well, that's cooking. Yes, I know. I'm saving that demon ingot, whatever that nasty one is, for last. One of these, one of those, one of these. All of those go into a mana pool. Boop, boop, boop. And all of those go right here. Boop, boop, boop. And don't let it pick it up. Love how quick that works when you have that many pools. Lumium. Lumium's going to be fun, right? Lumium ingots are going to be fun. How do I make? Is it aluminum blend with tin powder and energized glowstone? Okay. Do we have any of those tools already, or am I going to have to melt that off in that thing? Can I melt glowstone in the... Can I melt this in a thing? I can. So I need a block of that. Give me some glowstone. We'll just do this the easy way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have a bucket. I think I have a bucket. We can make another bucket. Bucket. Cool. Come here. You done? Good. All right. Move that. What did I do with it? I need you. And I need that. And you can pour that off. Give me that again. There's another one. And my bucket. I think the last one that we're kind of ignoring at this point is going to require a few things that I don't want to make right now. But that should take, what is it, 10 and silver? 10, 1, 2, and silver 1, I believe. And the problem is I have this automated so it goes over here. Let's see, can I keep you from pushing that up? Hey, can I have this right now? Don't do anything. Just do this, that. Or is it 3? I think it's 3, isn't it? Did it push it anyway? Yeah, it did. Stinking thing. 10. 10, 10, 10. 1, 2, 3. I think it's 3. Just in case I screw up. There, I got my 3. Okay. So that should be aluminum blend. With that, I think it's just 3, right? And this, yes, excellent, cool. And those can just get cooked off in that with a piece of sand, I believe. Actually, let's see. Use on this. You, sand, or yeah. So that's fine with me. Just get me a piece of sand again. Give me 4 of those. Just make 10 of them. To heck with it. Thank you. And that is going to take a while. Probably. Cool. There's another one. What do we have left? Signalum, which we need to do the same thing with that. I believe that's going to be 10 pieces of redstone. Cool. Go to work. What did I do with the bucket? Let's see, bucket, 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 and signalum is going to be signalum, whatever that is. 3 copper, 1 silver. One, two, three. Interface starting to get interface things starting to fill up for no reason whatsoever. Let's go run these through this. Actually, we'll just do this while we're over here. Do that. And then you need to do this. Oh boy. Forgot I did all that. Do that for me, please. Thank you. Thank you. Run back over here. Have a cookie. And do this plus that and that. Done. And cook that up. Which is going to leave us with the fun one. Because we haven't made the machine that does the fun one. I guess I can put my ingot cast back. I don't believe I have the machine that does the fun one. So the last ingot I do believe we need to make is an evil infused iron ingot, which is made in an enchanter, which we don't own an enchanter, I don't think yet. Did I make an enchanter? I don't see one. How much fun is it to make one of these things? It's just going to be a machine block, which is going to be another one of those. Can we get to this? Do I have all the parts? I do. All right, I'm going to craft another machine block here. And I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so we had everything we needed, and I even had an enchanted book to play with, so let's grab an enchanter out. I forget whether or not I need to have anything special for this thing to work, so we're just going to plug it in. And I'm going to hope that it doesn't care that there are no books or anything around it, but iron and a nether star requires a full set of nearby book shards or other enchantment boosting blocks. Knew it. Okay, we can do that. We can easily do that. Let's cheat. Well, cheat. Manage it. We're not going to cheat. We're going to do something that's intended. Where are they? Do I have any laying around? Think. No, you don't have any around, do you? You do. Let me borrow one of those. 2 of these. Come here, you. Real quick. 2 of you. Yeah, I know that breaks that block, but I don't care. I just need 2 of these. This is how we get around this part. There we go, and there we go. You should now be good to go. That's going to sit there and take its sweet time, so let's grab a couple of these. Go. This is the block I really should use a little bit more of because it will do various enchantment capabilities, but it's also like that thing over there just takes certain things to do, so there we go. 8 evil infused ingots. Beautiful. Click, go, and let us see about crafting that thing. There's an overworld star. Beautiful. These are fun too because we can use these to make these, or a lightsaber, a luck saber, excuse me, or that thing. So very cool. We'll play with these later on. This, as far as I would guess, I'm supposed to toss this into that. Yep. Orb of Life. Right-click to gain some information about the overworld. You can now travel to the overworld. Beautiful, lovely, awesome, which means now we get to start working on the fun stuff, or it should say the nonsensical idiocy that is trying to set up a rainbow generator to probably run continuously for as long as we can stand it. So I guess, guys, that's cool. That's fun. We got our little Orb of Life. We got a few things done. I got you guys showed around, and this might be a little bit of a longer episode for y'all. So have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. I've enjoyed it today. So see you guys in the next one. Bye.